Well, good morning. So I guess we're doing it again, are we? Desmond is sick. He's got the flu or some bug, and he was really he was really quiet and sleepy, and you never seen him so quiet. And he got in bed with me this morning, probably around 3 or something. I have to fix my collar. Oh, good morning, Matt. Mm, you're up early. I have to whisper at this hour. I can't turn this collar properly. You know, these are important things at 4 a.m. Make sure your collar is just so. Hey, I put on a hat. Good morning, Matt. How are you this morning? Is it the same time there as it is here? I know several Matts, and I wonder if you're the one that lives nearby. So I forget the last name. Well, are you ready for a rousing conversation? No, me neither. Oh, yes, it's the same time. So you do live nearby. Yes, indeed. You're a friend of the family. Okay, now I got it. And Alex Barbosa, you live nearby too? Or you're up in the night? Depends what question I ask. You know, I could ask all kinds of questions and I have no clue what I asked you. Oh, I got this book at the dump the other day. Shall we wax poetic? The Shakespeare quotation book. Oh, you're in California. Oh, so it's only one at night, right? I got up and lit the fire, or at least I opened the door and I pulled some dry wood in. I have this curtains. One of them is thin and one of them is vinyl or some kind of thing that keeps the cold out. And it's cool because on a sliding glass door, most sliding glass doors when I grew up only opened on one side, but these open on both sides, so you can stack your wood in a trolley. That my trolley lays down, so it has 4 feet, and then the handles stick up, and so we fill that with wood. So you can open up one door, and the tarp is over, so you just lift up the tarp, which is, you know, it's all open to you down at the bottom, but it's closed on the top and the sides to the weather. And so we can reach out, pull the dry wood in from there, and since that curtain is there, when you open the door, it's still blocking all that cold air from just flooding into the room. So it just floods in at the bottom where you pull the wood out. And then we have this other supply of wood, which is on the lane, which is much harder. Yeah, I thought so, right? Of course, it's in the woodshed, and we have to move it to the trolley and then bring it to the door every day, or every few days. And then on the driveway, we've got all this really big wood, not like the stuff that we got. The stuff we always got was really big, and Willem liked the smaller stuff because he tries to start it with paper and things like that, and I never do that. I just push everything to the back, drag all the coals to the front, and then lay the logs across, and then lay some more logs up on top of them. Leave the door ajar just a little bit so that the wind can zoom in. It goes in onto those coals and it fires them up. It fires them up so they're on fire. And then eventually the fire will go further back into the logs, into the depths of the wood stove. You shut it down after that. Maureen Byrne, is that what you said? Let me see who you are. Oh, good morning from England. and Alex Barbosa and Matt. I think this is a good idea because when people wake up in the middle of the night and they can't sleep and they have nothing better to do than listen to somebody who kind of drones on, it'll put them back to sleep. Yeah, I can put anybody to sleep. I'm the most boring person I know. Why would I get on them in these other people who do very professional live videos showing some important thing? Their view of a live video is much different than mine. Mine is, oh, pick up the phone, maybe somebody will talk to me. Hey, look, Alex, well, hello, everyone. Happy to be part of this. Me too. Isn't this cool? So we got 4 people. Oh, no likes. It's too early in the morning to find those like buttons. Now, are you subscribed and have that notification bell clicked? Is that why you know that I'm online? Or did you just randomly? I don't know. Is that the way you find out it's live? I never know about anything until later. But that's probably because I try not to use my device all the time, but it really doesn't work because every time I go outside, there's something beautiful to photograph. If I don't photograph it, it'll be gone. Oh, and so you get a ding or something? 3 o'clock in the morning? Both of you. You guys are twins. Do you know each other? Alex and Matt? I know, Maureen. I have seen your name for years and years and years, and it's always associated with good things. Now, refresh my memory. I used to have a cheat sheet where if anybody would comment, I would sort them, and I would put comments from different people on different pages. Oh, I also had a chart, a list of countries or cities or states, all of them. And anybody that happened to mention where they were from in the world, I would put their name in that grouping. And then when I would travel, and I would say, okay, I'm going to be driving through this. One day I'm going to go to Phoenix. I know 6 people that live in Phoenix, or I used to know 6 people that live in Phoenix. Over 11 years, things change. One day I'd like to go to Phoenix again. Hey, you know that girl? She's a member of my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She plays the violin and she dances while she plays. I forget her name. She's out there in the woods, dancing and playing away the most beautiful violin stuff. I forget her name. Anybody remember her name? Anyway, her violin teacher works in the temple with me. And on a Saturday afternoon, she was giving a violin lesson to somebody. And I was thinking, wow, I wonder if I arranged it ahead of time, if she would give me a violin lesson on a Saturday when I'm there. I guess it depends if she's not working when I'm not working and working when I am working so that we can see each other. Oh, this is a nice comment. I love your channel. I've always been a fan ever since I saw your video on how to make fish soap. Did I say that? How to make fish soap? Can you refresh my memory? How to make fish soap. I remember making soap when I never made soap before, and I realized that you could make it with oil. And then I ran out of oil, and I was just fooling around. I was just experimenting. Oh, soup, fish soup. Oh, fish soup. That was my sister's fish soup, wasn't it? She used to make fish soup. What kind of fish did she put in it? I have to look it up on Nancy today. Hold everything. Hold the presses. Oh, look, on my Gmail it says, your basket making videos are cool. Really? Do you like them? I love making baskets. It says on my Gmail, let me read this to you. Nancy Today is live now. Live on YouTube. Nancy Today, are you awake too? Well, I wasn't. But then I got this email. Oh, there's 5 more notifications that are just like it. Oh, how I'm feeling. Oh, Deborah L. commented on it, but I don't remember her commenting. And then, who will we meet this time? And somebody commented. And that's all. I was thinking, I would like to learn some things. I was thinking there's all these free universities. And since I will never, ever try to get a job by proving how I took a bunch of courses, it doesn't matter if I get a degree or not. I just want to learn some things. I want to learn more about stream and pond life. Did you know that if you take a rock out of the stream, I think there's a video on this, it's called Stream Experiment, or anyway, so you reach into the stream, which is a running water stream, and it's 55 degrees because it's spring fed, so it's always cold. It probably gets down colder than that from the air, and the surface might freeze. Sometimes it's frozen right over if it's negative 20, but it'll be thin. Hey, I think I'm getting better. I'm not coughing all the time. Of course, I don't have any post-nasal drip either right now. So I would like to learn about what's alive in the pond, because if you take a rock out of the pond, the rock will be covered with little crustaceans, little animals in their little shells, and maybe not, maybe just little squiggly worms and things, but they will be on the rock. And if you take the rock and put it into normal water, warm water, you'll start to see all those things move. Oh, I heard a sound. Do you still bake your cookies? Well, I guess I know how to bake cookies. I baked them a while ago, but I can't eat them. And I think that even smelling the flour in the air, I think that that's pretty bad for me. Hey, did you know, I have this curiosity about diffusion. I know you think, well, what in the world is diffusion? Well, if you open a jar way over there, how many seconds does it take before somebody smells it way over here? I've been doing YouTube since it started. You know what? Well, anyway, so about diffusion. So, if you open something way over there, or say you strike a match way over there, and somebody in the next room can smell it, like a second later. It's not like there's smoke from that match that magically fills the room. How many molecules does it take before you can smell it? And how are they dispersed so quickly? I know everything has energy and all the electrons are moving. So everything is moving and it's propelling all these terpenes over. Terpenes, I think, are smell molecules. So, I want to learn more about diffusion. And I want to learn more about the bugs that are on the rocks in the water. And I also want to learn more about I want to learn more about these animals I keep tracking. I keep wandering on this property, keep exploring out there, and it's 28 acres of really rough, rugged land with some beautiful trails and meadows. And I've been walking all over it, up and down the hills. Yeah, like smelling food miles away. So a deer can smell food that's 8 inches beneath the surface. So he will scrape, this is what somebody else told me, they scrape off the snow down to 8 inches. But of course, if they reach a layer of ice, and see, this time of year you get lots of different layers of stuff because it's frozen and unthawed, frozen and thawed. We get so many snowstorms with little bits of snow, a dusting, and then it might melt or it might just make a thin crust. Anyway, now when you walk in the snow, it's pretty packed. It's pretty hard. So you don't go in too deep unless you're in a hollow. Anyway, did you say something and I didn't? There's so many good topics here. Fish soup, I can't remember. I'm sorry, you had it right. I read it wrong. And Maureen, why have you been a scriber for years? What keeps you coming back? Is it because we know each other now? Oh, you're not boring. You're so fun. Oh yeah, I was telling you about stacking the wood. So he brings in, we'll fill the trolley with dry wood. Then we'll fill the wheelbarrow with the wetter wood, which is only wet because it's younger, like it has not been cut long enough, so there's no cracks in the wood. Are you aware of that? That when you have a piece of firewood, it'll be solid wood. You could count the rings. Hey, I never count the rings on my firewood. I have all this firewood. I could be counting rings. I could find out very interesting things. How old is the tree that I just burned today? Shall we get a piece of firewood and check? Hey, we can do difficult things. Let's go look. You know that in BC, I got my violin out to play. Oh, I heard child coughing. Can't play a violin while children are coughing or sleeping. So I'm gonna go get a firewood and I'm gonna bring it in here. The fire is starting to go. Can you hear it? Piece of wood for us. We snuck through without any children waking up. Okay, now we're gonna have to have a plan because I lose count. So I got a pen here. So, yeah, hi, there's 6 people up now. 6 people couldn't sleep, so that's what we're gonna do now. It just occurred to me that I don't know how old the firewood is that I burn. But I thought maybe I could count the rings. But I don't know if you're going to be able to count the rings if it's been sawn with a chainsaw. Let's put this down here now. Look at that. Can you count the rings at all? Oh wait, yeah. Okay. So this is the bark is missing. So this is the one layer. That's a lot to grow in 1 year, isn't it? Is that all the way 2? And that's another ring. 3, 4, 5, 6. This core is pretty big, but that's not all 1 year. See, this is where the chainsaw kind of burned a bit when it was trying to cut it. I wonder if you can see through all these cut marks. See, like that's one right there. And that's another one, and that's another one. And then is this another one? Here's one. What about the inner side? Now this is starting to crack there. You see a little crack? So it's starting to dry out. This is cracked all the way over there. Huh, I didn't realize. This is why I've never counted the rings, because I can't see them. Let's see if we see them on an angle. Oh, are you looking the wrong way? No, let's just turn you around. Oh, and has anybody said something? Okay. So let's see if we can figure it out. 1, unless you see anything in between there. That's the first year. And I can't see any ring here, second year. Now, it's going to be the same over here. So that's the first, it's 1 year. Looks like 2 years, right? That's a little big. Boy, this is really hard to tell when it's been chainsawed. Huh, I had no idea. So I see a few little lines here. Do you see these little white gaps? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a very fast-growing tree. 7. Can't go that far. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hey, I wonder if we can enlarge it, zoom it really big, if we can see better. We're just counting these lines, you know, because we have nothing else to do. Because we're just so bored. Okay, so let's see. 1. So would I count that and that and that? Or is it just the difference between the dark ones? 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Are they just spots, or are they actually parts of lines? They're spots. I think they're like moldy spots. Oh, yeah, you can draw in the grooves. That won't help you count the cracks. Here you can see this one very clearly. I can draw on this. Didn't draw. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we know it's at least 7 years old. I would think that this tree, let's see, this is a maple. I would say this tree has probably got ring lines everywhere, like this. Ah, there's some. Okay, see how close these are. This is better. Yeah, I wonder if you wet it, if you could see the lines better. Okay, so we've got 1. Does this get any more lines in between? See, those are the chainsaw lines, right? But these are not. These are rings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 7 looks very close. 7, 8. See if it'll enlarge, if it'll. I don't know. Oh yeah, you can really see those grooves here, can't you? Well, if you imagine, wow, from here to here, you can count the rings. Let's try that, just that part. That's like an inch. So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. Start from over here. I can see from over here better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I can't read that. But if that's 6, then that must be 6, and that must be 6, and that must be 6. So if it grew at a constant rate, here, up here, maybe you can see. See, these can't be the lines because they go parallel all the way. The rings are going to go around, they're going to follow the side. Put some water on the wood. Maybe that would help. Okay. I can do difficult things. Isn't this fun? I'll turn on some light. Oh, that's not the right light. Turn on some more light. So, okay. So we need water for our log. I need water for my mouth. All right, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. We don't have to drink it. Okay, so we can just take any jar, put in some water. Hey, you know, I told you about this little machine you can put on a plant. You can see how a plant is doing. You can see the fluctuations in their energy flow if you clip the little end to here and put the other electrode in the bottom there. It occurred to me that this house would look better with plants. If I had lots of plants everywhere, but I have no surfaces to put the plants on. See, I put them here on the picnic table. He got relegated to the bathroom for a while, but look at how big his leaves got. Wow, you liked it in there, didn't you? Nice and damp. He had all these nice things on him, but I neglected him. See? He's kind of a spider plant. I got him from my chiropractor's office. Now that didn't help us get any water, did it? Let's try a different piece of wood. Maybe that piece is just so hard. Okay, we have to be quiet again. Oh, that one I can really see some lines on those. Let's look with a flashlight. Hey, the flashlight won't turn on. Okay, how about this one? Okay, we'll turn it around and have a good look at this log now. Oh, you're not supposed to be seeing the mess. I turned it around the wrong way. Oh, I heard something happen. Desmond came down and got in my bed. Probably around 3 or something. And so I was awake after that. Oh, look, this is gonna work. Wow, look at the difference. Okay, let's let it focus for a minute here. Let's see if we can count them from the center. Or maybe, okay. Oh, look at, you can see them. Oh, this is really good. So I guess this is the middle, right there. That's the middle, I think. Wow, look at, you can really see all the lines. Okay, let's try this. 1, 2, yeah, I did. I didn't put the one on that, see? But maybe it's also, okay. So we start from here, because I think that's the center. No, here's the center right here. Okay, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something's hiding under this. Okay, start again. We'll never get there because we have to start over every time I make a mistake. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I lost my place. These are really good striations. Okay, start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, This is part of number 5, right? Let's go up to here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, look, there's so many I'm missing. Oh, these are millions in here. Wow, there's so many. I need a magnifying glass. Can you count them? Okay, we'll say this was 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, focus. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 4, 35. Can't see them. There's many, many, many. 35. I think there's about 5 in there. Okay, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So 40 brings us to about this dark stuff. We're just up here at the very top of the thing. It's already 40 years old. Oh my gosh, this is an old tree. Look at all those lines. Is that where we were? We were right to there? 40. Or did we go further? Should I try it again? So we're having a like from here to here, there's like tons of lines. I know, it's really old, eh? They grow very slowly. So in 1 year, they put on 1 ring. We have an elm out back that in 20 years has put on about that much growth. And the tree, which was about this big, is now like this big. Or it was about this big. No, it's pretty big. It's about this big, and now it's like this big. And the chair that was attached to it bent over the years where it was attached to it. I need a magnifying glass. That would be good. Do we have a magnifying glass? Let's see. William's got reading glasses. Those are perfect magnifying glasses. Let's see if we can find them without waking anybody up or tripping and knocking anything big off and making a huge mess. Oh, look, I'm going to show you how to make this later. I'm going to make Thai yellow curry paste. I got all these different ingredients, and I have a mess. Okay, what are we looking for? Oh yeah, Willem's glasses. I need some water too. I'm gonna go in and get a drink of water. Okay, I had to get a glass of water. Okay, Willem's glasses. Here we go. Let's check on the wood stove while we're here. Oh, you're still zoomed way in, aren't you? Oh, that's really zooming up, isn't it? Let's close that down. There we go. Now we'll have a warm house. This is a nice fire. We'll check on that cat, see where he is again. I thought it was the deer that had turned it on. That's why I went to check. Okay, I got it. Here we go. We're back in business again. Pay no attention to the mess. I live like this. Okay. Now, here we go. Did somebody say something? No, I didn't see the deer today. I saw it earlier. I took a picture of it. Okay, so let's use Willem's glasses. Now we have several things to hold. I have to hold these glasses. I think we better clean the glasses first. They are dirty. Okay, now. Okay. Okay, fade away, all you. There you go. Okay, now. See what we can do. Oh, close. Dirty glasses don't help. They're not helping, are they? I wanted to see the really tiny rings, right? We need Okay, so we've got this side is wet. Let's see what happened, what the other side looks like. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm holding the glasses instead of the camera. Oh, look at this. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool, eh? I think we could count these rings. Maybe not with these glasses. All right, don't forget the glasses. I'll just work on this now. So, start from out here. Can't see anything. Here are definite rings here. You see how this wide this ring is here? How wide between this? And then let's see here, they're very close together. So there was a lot of rain those years, but here wasn't much rain. So we've got, if only it would focus. Come on, focus. There's a lot of them in here. I can't tell how many. Oh wait, if I get further away. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's start. It's hard to see all that. I can't really count that. I can count from here, I think. Get my glasses on better. And okay, so we've got. It's always easiest to count from somewhere else. Okay, so let's see. Here we have. These are needle width, eh? Can anybody else count them? I'll try and stay still. These are microscopic on there. Okay, let's get some good focusing right there. Okay, let's try this. Okay, you try. I'll try and hold it still. Maybe we should take a photo. Can you take a photo of that? 1 untold million. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Untold million. 7. 'Hard to say. Maybe that whole black thing is 1. Probably not. The dot in the middle is probably the white from the layer in between. 9, 10. I know. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't know. Maybe that was a big year. No. 17, 18, 19, 20. So it took 20 years for this much to grow. Okay, 20. Focus, focus, focus. 21. 21, was that a big year? No. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So it took 25 years to get that big. Except I don't think we started at the beginning. 25 was just that much. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Are you falling asleep yet? 34. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Some people count sheep. 43, 44, 45. If I could tell where this one connected up, I could move over here. 45. 46, 47. 48, 49. Yeah, I was thinking that we could measure inches and estimate. 49. But you see, the thing is, okay, I'm going to count 50 right there. Okay, so the thing is that in a year, if you get a lot of rainfall, you get a wide ring. See up here? You can see very clearly. You can see very clearly how wide these rings are. Now in BC, beside the salmon rivers, look at how skinny these lines are. So they had a lot of rain that year, but not much here. They must have had a bit of a drought for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 years to grow that much. But here it grew, so that's whatever that looks like, a centimeter, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in 5 years it grew this, but in 11 years it grew that, right? Or maybe it was 6. See, the rings are going to be pretty steady around it, aren't they? Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, the ring is wider there than it is, say, here. So we had 50. I made a dot where the 50 was. Is that my dot? Yes. I think my dot is right there. No. There's a hole in the log. Here's 50 right there. Was that right? Okay. So now 51. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. Get kind of lost in there. 72. 73, 70, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. I don't know. You see where the lines are? 78. Oh, here they are. 78. 79. 80. 81. I can't tell now. I'm just guessing. 82. So anyway, so we counted from where? Did we count the whole way? Anyway, so 82 years old. And look at how big the tree is. This is a quarter of it. So it's, 82 years old. Maples grow very slowly. That's what makes them such a hard wood. So we'll just write on this 82 years old. So I'll have to mention this to everybody when they go and just toss wood in the fire, like when I do. This piece of wood is 82 years old. Now this one beside it, of course, not from the same tree, but if that's 82 years old, then this is going to be, has to be a lot older, probably 100 years old. Isn't that amazing? Ha, we did it. What do you think? Are you impressed? I have much respect for firewood now. 82 years old to grow that piece. So anyway, I was trying to tell you, in BC, along the river, the Taku River, there's a lot of bears and there's fish. And so that was fun, wasn't it? Counting, you can count sheep or you can count rings. One of them should put you to sleep. What was I saying? Okay, so the fish would come out and they would eat these salmon, and then they would go in the forest and they would poop, and so all that salmon was being decomposed on top of the trees. And so they could tell by the tree rings, the width of the tree rings, how much how good the year was for salmon. Because the tree would grow a lot if you gave it a lot of fertilizer, right? Bone meal or fish meal. Can you get that stuff at the store? I know you can buy bone meal, but fish meal, probably. I think you could. When I grew up in Georgia, my parents used to get some very strange things when they planted things. They used to plant bushes and trees, and they always did it very properly. My parents were very proper. My father came from a family. It was very strange how it happened, because my father's family was from very humble circumstances. My grandfather's family was from humble circumstances. So I came to Canada to check them out. 1:54 a.m. Well, we've already slept. I know you're up late. Well, you missed it all. We counted the rings on the firewood. Yes, we did. you can see it all later, but not in real time. So we decided, look at that. Isn't that so smart? I wrote it on there. It's 82 years old. We counted those rings. We have a hard time counting rings because of the striations from the chainsaw. But I'm just curious how old this wood is. So this is an 82-year-old tree that is giving its heat for us today. You see, when I think about how, now isn't that a good view of all my books that are bent? This is some really good recipe right here. Let's see what I used. I used one of those skirt hangers to hang up a recipe. It used to have a hanger part on it, but it doesn't. Oh, this is my recipe for making glaze. And I think this is the perfect recipe. It says exactly how much of it all I needed. EPK, tab, FT3, silica. $72 or $48 for that recipe. But I have enough to make a 5-gallon bucket. And which means that everything I make from then on will be exactly the same. Oh, look, there's another good thing in here. This is things that fell out of my cookbook from overuse. I used to make breakfast cake for folks. I should start doing that again. You know, what's wrong with doing that? Why don't I just make some nice breakfast cake? Oh, and this is my soap recipe. Do you know what my soap recipe is? All right, get ready. So you add, this is going to turn out to be 5 pounds. And it'll be a super fat discount of 5%. Lye concentration of 25%, water 2%. So you need 1.9 water, 1.9 gram. No, this is how you do it. You do it in grams because you get really accurate. 861.825 grams. So take a photo of water and 299.949 grams of lye. 113 grams of coconut oil. 154 of soybean oil. This is probably why it didn't work, because that soybean hydrogenated soy wax wasn't wax. So here's my recipe then. Water is 616 grams. Lye is 230 grams. Canola was 1723 grams. Castor oil 90. And fragrant oil 2 ounces. Ha! I could make soap. I could just go in there and I could get all the ingredients. I could bring them out. Oh, and look what this is. This is quite the treasure trove. Here is this one here hanging up on my things that fall out. This was from my grandmother. And it says, there is a letters service of instructions available on Water's Edge at 50 cents. I estimate the swatches for the detail at $44, which includes the usual charge of $3 for marking the swatches. This does not include the background. The background called for in the instruction sheet is khaki drab dye over beige material. We can supply you with the beige material at $7.50 a yard, and I estimate 2 yards for the inner background and 1.5 for the outer border. It may be that you would have some varied shades of sand tones that you could mingle. My grandmother used to do this. This is, we do have a McGowan teacher rather near you, Miss Beatrice Buchanan, 509 Bodhammer Street, Kernersville. She attends our teacher's workshop. Cordially yours, Pearl K. McGowan. Reply to Pearl K. McGowan, Boynton, Massachusetts. So she wrote these books. My grandmother used to hook rugs. Do you want me to show you the rugs she hooked? I can show you all kinds of stuff. It's all dark in there. I've probably shown it to you before. here are her books. So my grandmother, she was born it sounds like a long time ago, 1898. So these are the books by Pearl Gowan. And so this one called Water's Edge. She was old when my grandmother started. So this lady has created all these patterns. I know this is information you never thought you would need. So there was this place called Old Sturbridge Village where you could buy all this stuff, but it's no longer there. Lincoln House at Old Sturbridge Village. And so what she has, these are hooked rugs. So my grandmother would make these patterns, beautiful rugs on her floor. I may have that one. Beginner's rugs. But see, when you hook a rug, see the different numbers here? It's like painting by numbers. So you have all these different colors that shade into each other. I recognize so many of these rugs, you know. I think I saw this one in the bathroom. I think it was a bath mat. She had this really big old house. And it was so fancy. See, isn't that beautiful? I think she made that one. Maybe this one. Every room in her house had these rugs. One of them that I have in the living room took 500 hours. Or maybe that's the second one. I had one that took 500 hours. Long, long ago. And if I had taken perfect care of it and stored it properly, I would have it today. But it's been many, many years. So this lady creates these pictures, eh? Yeah, it was really beautiful. Well, I have another one that was in the downstairs bedroom at my parents' house. So I guess there's this building, this at Old Sturbridge in Massachusetts. There's this place where you could go, and it was the Museum of McGowan rugs. And she didn't make them all, but she drew them all. I mean, she created them, but she didn't actually weave them all or hook them all. Yeah, my grandmother never went for that sort of stuff. Now, I think I have this. Wow, did she make that? Let me just check this out. I'm getting sidetracked here. Wait, is this the story of my life, right? Okay, it's in this drawer in here. And I didn't know where it came from, so I'll check. This is my mother's chest. Okay, let's see. No noise, no noise, no noise. It's not late, it's only 5 o'clock. Okay, so now we're back. We can make noise again. Okay, so she has this rug here. It's doing maple syrup. She lived in Canada. And then this one, which does not look like a McGowan kind of rug. Oh, is that a teepee? Oh, that's an Indian and his peace pipe and his horse and his flowers. Oh, that's really cool. Teepees looking kind of... My teepees have looked like that in the past. Let's look this up again and see what the picture was. No, that was a different one. Okay. I wonder if these are in here. Oh, I found a story I wrote a long time ago about the Christmas tree. I think I saw that one. She had lots of these kind of chairs. I can sit in them now. I can fit in that size chair. But you can't have a dump where everything's free and have beautiful stuff, because then you keep getting new stuff and then there's no room for your beautiful stuff. But some of the new stuff is beautiful. So, do you know anything about doing these? Yeah, I recognize this. She was really cool, my grandmother. She's very fashionable, very high-end, high scale. She sent her children away to boarding schools. She went to the very fancy clubs and was part of all the fancy groups. And then when the war came and her husband went to war, I remember this one. When her husband went to war, she had to take out the kids out of school because he was a doctor, and of course he wasn't earning money when he was not working. That looks pretty familiar too. She had this very big house and rugs, every room she'd done them. Anyway, so this is telling you about Pearl McGowan. And yesterday I found my hook when I was looking for a crochet hook to thrum those other things. And see, here's another one, color in hook drugs. I got these for like $1 or something on YouTube. No, I mean on Amazon. Or maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Trying to get my head thing off. Okay. So this one with color. So you can, it teaches you well, it's not really teaching you a lot, is it? It's got many more kinds of pictures. Some of those look familiar, but you know what? Water's Edge, which is the one I'm working on. The Lure and Lore of Hook Drugs. I like the scroll things. Desire and skill can produce an oriental masterpiece. Oh, I wonder if this will have this one. Oh, someone said something. Wait a minute. It faded. I know. It's really cool to have creations, my grandma. Okay, so 154. How can I sleep? This is so fun. I know, I'm sorry. I enjoyed watching you cut your soap. Odd, but it was relaxing. Yeah, I used to like doing the soap. That was really, it was so smooth. It was kind of like butter that wasn't quite too hard. But you know, the best soap I ever made was with tallow, beef fat. But my source of beef fat left. They've put new restrictions on abattoirs, butcher shops. They have to have like $1 million of upgrades to these places. So they went out of business, or they just retired. And so we no longer have that local access to fat. Like by the pound. Okay, so these are kind of the folk art things, aren't they? Look at that. Look at how they've blended those colors. You should see how my grandmother does it. And it's really fun to work on what she's worked on. She had that one. I wonder if I could find them. Find all the rugs that I have in these books. Retirement. Snug Haven. That's kind of like where I am. Except I don't go quite so high. Well, at least I'm up higher. So the way you make a hooked rug is you take a sweater or a blanket that's made of wool, and you cut it in very long strips. You can start with wool and you can dye it your colors. And you take one, you put like 20 pieces in, and you bring out one, and then you bring out the other in a minute, and then you bring out the next, so that they're all different. They're deeper shades. And so then when you've got deeper shades like that, then you start like with the darkest shade in the middle, and then you come out and you've got your different shades, so that it gives this look of, you can see the ribs of the ferns. Anyway, there you go. That was a quick look at rug hooking. This is how I end up with lots of books out. Okay, I'm going to show you this now. So this is a letter to my grandma about what she was going to need to make this one that I'm working on, Water's Edge. Should I go show it to you? Do you want me to do that? That's a lot of work. I believe it used to be very upper class and ladylike to be able to do your various handwork. Was this your maternal or paternal grandma? Well, I better not say, because then if you saw her name, that would give information away. So anyway, it was my grandma. I only had one. My other one had died when I was little, before I was born. Anyway, what else is in here? From my journal. I have this awesome journal, and I don't think people really read it. That's okay, because it's not for really everybody to read. It's just for me to record my life and all my photos. But I've also put my recipes there. So if you go into Nancy Today Live Journal, then you can go into something else. Anyway, and then you can find recipes and memories. This is so oily. Sally's molasses cookies. These are the best cookies in the world. I should make them for the family, Was she famous? Wait a minute. Sorry, I wouldn't have asked. So talented. No, she wasn't famous. It's just that, people put, like, they've got passwords now for mother's maiden name and all these things. And so you got to be careful that you don't just be random with your mother's maiden name, Well, this isn't my mother's maiden name anyway. Anyway, so let's see what else I have in my little finger clips. This thing hung on the cupboard wall for a long time. Of all these things that I had needed. My recipes. Recipe for food, recipe for soap, recipe for hooked rugs, and recipe for cookies. Yep, I'm organized. Those are my recipes. Okay, I have nothing else to say. Move on. Let's see what you said. My sister's famous. My sister's very, very, very famous. And I used to compare myself to my sister when I grew up, right? Anything I could do, she could do. I could write, she could write. I could draw, she could draw. Good thought not to share. Never think of such things. I'm getting old. When I scroll to, you put in your birthday or something, you have to scroll to the year you're born. I have to go scroll, 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 scroll. Isn't it here yet? And then finally I get to my number, 1955. Uh-oh. We have a situation here. I can no longer participate in this live video. Nature calls. Now, would you like to sit and look at something while I go, or would you like to... Nature's calling you too. Okay, so then we'll all just go to the washroom, and then we'll come back. And what would you like to look at in the meantime? Shall I put you so you can see? Oh, I know. Would you like to learn how to make a... Hey, it's not there. Oh, well, I have all these books you could look at. You want to look at basic basket making? Here you go. Or you want to look at a birch bark book. Never mind, I can't get anything out. Here, natural baskets. Okay, so you can look at this natural basket. And I will go away and I will return again. And you can look all about the baskets. Come out close enough. Oh, maybe you could read Shakespeare. Would you like to read Shakespeare quotes? I can't do that. All right, I'll be back. I'll hang up, I'll go away, and I'll be back. Goodbye, it's been nice. You can do this at home. Results may differ. And you saw it here last. Hey, how do I turn it off? I can't turn it off. Oh, no, you're here. Yeah, I figured you could relate to that birth year thing. Well, what am I going to let you sit and look at? You want to look outside at the Christmas tree? Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Did you have fun looking at the fire? Look, I put my hat on. Hello, it's Nancy today. Losing flowers at an alarming rate. I have a whole bunch of flowers, or a bunch of hats need flowers on them. Actually, they're all sitting on the table. I could bring them in. I could put flowers on them. I can't remember where my flowers are. Oh well. So is that something nice to wake up to in the middle of the night? Let's move all these things. You never did get to read your Shakespeare. I'm sorry. And you didn't get to look at the basket book. I was going to let you look at the book on how to make pottery. Oh, here it is by Simon Leach. This is one of the things I want to learn. So Simon Leach is really good. He's on YouTube. And he makes stuff. There's this teapot with a flange. I want to make plates, but they are so hard. So plates. Dinner plate, 87. Well, you know what I do? I end up going down there to the studio. I get all this stuff ready. It's kind of chilly in this house. Unless you happen to be right beside the heater. I think I'm going to have to make this room better because See the room, how dark it looks when the curtains are open? But if I close all the curtains, it looks white, which is nicer. All right, has anybody spoken since we've been gone? Oh, goodbye, Matt. Tyler. Hello, Tyler. Taylor. Oh, so are you back yet? Love them anyway. Where I live, it is. I have another thing here I can look at. It is 5:21. But never let that bother you, because it could be any time, anywhere in the world. Have you ever been in an airport and realized the relevance, the something of time, this is not tucking down properly. I have to get my little needle and thread out. I have all my needle and thread stuff, but you know what? I put it in the most difficult place to get to it. And I also have a sewing machine that I got from the dump. You know, it would really be good if I would just set them up. Maybe I could set it up in here. I could, I think. I think I'm going to have to get rid of this green chair. I love this green chair, but it wrecks my head. It wrecks my neck. So it should go to a teepee. Which teepee should it go to? I guess it has to go to the one down here, because the rest of them are not waterproof enough. Should we put it out on the deck? We could put it on the deck right now. Then it's done. Then we'd have room in here. And then I could bring that sewing table in, and I could put it in here, and I could use it. Things are clicking. We have too many chairs in here. It was okay when we had a lot of people over for Christmas. For Thanksgiving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people can sit in this room. But see, you don't need to have everybody sit in the same room, right? Because people are mingling, and if everybody sits down, have you ever seen how that goes? Oh, you're back. Some sewing videos. Well, did you see when I made an apron? Would you like to see my aprons? I used to sew all my clothes when I was young. It took 45 minutes to make a skirt. I had this pattern where it was the length from your waist to the largest part of your hips. And so you make that not twice as big around as you, but maybe 1.5 times around. So there's a little bit of gather in that. And then at the biggest part of you, then you put from there to the bottom of the skirt to the hem, you put another piece that's twice as big as you need. And then you gather that first one to the top one, and then you put a casing in the top, and then you gather that with elastic. The elastic slides. And that would take me 45 minutes to make that skirt. And they work so well. I had so many of them. I still have a couple. Of course, I outgrew them, because I made them when my children were little. I used to go to the store and I'd get fabric. Canada's fabric is so expensive. I mean, it's just. I was used to paying very little for fabric, just a few dollars. I came to Canada, and to buy satin was like $16 a meter. $60 to make my wedding dress. I'd never spent so much on fabric. Well, hello, Dawn. Yes, we had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving is in October. Like a prairie skirt. Is that what that is? I didn't know there was a name for it. I just knew that if I had it gathered at my waist, my hips would be too big, because my hips were always big. But that's because of eating wheat. And once I've kicked the wheat out of my diet, all the fat that was on my hips is gone. And so now my hips are straight. I've never had straight hips. Never. My sister always did. She had a straighter thing, and I had blue. Anyway, not anymore. Somehow it's gone. So those skirts, I don't need to have it gathered twice. That was to take the bulk away, so it would be down lower. So you still had the fullness of the skirt without making your hips look big. You know, I felted soaps, right? I felt a lot of my soaps, and I really love felted soap because you can hold on to it, and you've also got your washcloth right there, and it's clean all the time because the soap washes it. You rinse it under the water and let it dry, and the whole thing dries out, and your soap doesn't fall apart and get gooey everywhere. It's really quite a good idea. Then you have this piece of felt. Now, I think there's one under there. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, and anybody that has joined us, since we've been on this morning, while you were counting counting sheep, getting your Z's, we were here very busy counting the, yeah, I feel great, 82-year-old piece of wood. We tried to count this one. This is probably 100 years old, but we couldn't. It's too hard to see the lines. It almost looks like it's moldy on here. There's all these spots. Sort of see the lines, but not very well. Here you can see them really well. But then they disappear here, but you can see them over here. So somehow, when you count, but oh, and then you can see them in here too. If you count the rings, you know how old the tree is. All right, so we're not talking about pottery anymore because now I've changed the subject. So that book can go there. Then we end up with this. Oh yeah, we're going to put this chair outside. Shall we do it right now? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We can do it. We can take this big heavy chair out without making a single peep in this house that has no doors, almost, except they go outside. Okay. Now prepare for some cold air. Work smart. Don't people. How are you doing? Do you rearrange a lot? Are you ready for Christmas? And I am feeling great from the new way of eating. Ready for Christmas? Well, I mean, Christmas, I guess the long and the short of that is no. I can do hard things. I can do difficult things. I can do things. I can do something every day that scares you. Okay, so I'm going to put you in this corner here. Okay, so maybe you can see some of this. Okay, so now I want to bring that sewing table in. But that's going to be a lot of work and a lot of noise and very messy. Maybe we can go and clean up in the other room. Should we do that now? No. Maybe we should make my sauce. We should change the clock anyway. The clock says 4:32, and we all know that's not right because we've already been there. We've already done that part. Oh wait, it didn't go up. Set clock. Oh, I gotta go up an hour. 5. What's the time? I have to go over here and see the time. It's 5:30. That was the clock telling me I didn't do it right. No, ain't no deer out there now. Hey, you know what I could do? I could bring out this little sewing machine here. I have a sewing machine on the floor. Okay. And I could bring it out. I could probably use it on the table, but I don't know where. Okay. Got this at the top. I think I messed it up. It got bent. Oh well. So this does not need to be in the house either. This can go out to the woodshed. Or it can go back in the car. And these go to the dump. Okay. And this goes to that plate is going to roll down on the floor and possibly crack when they move that bin. This can be put away. Okay, we're going to have a place to sew. cramps. You might need to drink more water or take magnesium. I think it's so sweet that Desmond got up in the middle of the night and came down to be in my room with me. See, and then I put my water up here. I was organizing all my spices yesterday. See, so now I have not much in the drawer. These are the spoons and stuff. When I'm cooking and I want some, if I put everything in the drawer over here, then the family uses them and I don't have them. So they've got enough on that side and I've got some on this side. Have you ever had this kind of drink? I like it. What? Contains milk and soy. So much for that. Darn it. I know that after I drank it yesterday, I had lots of hearing problems. Alright, I think I'm going to try and cook this stuff. That means I have to wash out my container. I've been playing in the stores and buying things I don't know what they are. Borlotti beans. And whole artichoke hearts. I love whole artichoke hearts. And these are some fiddleheads. They've been left out and they've gone bad, but you get the idea. I have to remember to empty the compost every day because those cats out there are depending on that for eating. Okay, so what do I do right here? How do I work this? I can't put anything in front of that. But and it's kind of nice to come over to this window. That's my Christmas tree. Oh yeah, I have all these balls. I'm gonna thread them onto some yarn. But I had a thread and I don't know where it is anymore. Okay, now I'm gonna just sit down because I don't know what I'm doing. That's the best thing to do when you don't know what you're doing is do nothing. And it'll come to you. So, good morning. We have 8 people here now. We are about to get some snow here in North Carolina. Yeah, I heard something on the news yesterday. I listened to WCBS in New York City. Because when I grew up there, we always took all those roads from New York up to Connecticut to see my family, and up to upstate New York to see my grandparents. And so when they talk about all those roads, I like to hear them, the LIE and the New York State Thruway and the New York Turnpike and what was that one? The Taconic State Parkway. Is Taconic an Indian name? I have this map I got once. I think I was at somewhere. And it was a map of all the Indian nations and where they were located on the I think it was just the United States, maybe Canada. The United States doesn't know that Canada exists. Everything ends at the border. Sometimes you think that that's the way their view is. Nobody out there has any intelligence. It's just us. Nobody else out there can do anything. Anyway, that's what I found when I left. And I saw it from another angle. I saw the world from world news. Instead of watching... When I grew up, they didn't have CNN and Fox. I think CNN was just starting. So you had real news. And it was all very impartial. You just the facts, please. It's amazing how everything has got adjective attached to it now. Somebody does something and then they mention that this is sort of a characteristic of this person doing this sort of stuff. And always holding people to old movies, and assuming the worst. And showing things in a bad light. It's very interesting. I mean, they all do it. It depends who's president at the time, but whoever's president, the opposition really paints them in a bad light. And the people that are for them never paint them in a bad light, never show them any, never are objective about their weaknesses. I thought that was a cat. It's a little piece of fluff. Let's talk about something. You do. You like ASMR, eh? So what does it do to you? Does it make you feel tingly inside? This is too heavy a pin for this little thin collar. It's one of my mother's pins. She liked stuff like that. My father was a traveler. He would go all over the world. He was a geography professor. There, now you can see it. Isn't that pretty? Hey, I know how to wear this. This is the way my mother would have done it. Let's fix this up. And you don't put on pink sleeves with this stuff. Okay. Now if I do it too tightly, I won't be able to slip it off my head. But the way to do it would be to put this right across the two collars. But it'll have to stay on then. Excuse me. Sensations in my head and shoulders. It puts me to sleep. So if I put you to sleep yet, if I haven't put you to sleep, then it can't be real ASMR. Just saying. Okay. This in here. So I was talking earlier at the beginning of this very, very long video about things I want to know. I want to learn more about I want to learn about the animals in the stream, the bugs in the stream. I want to learn more about martins. I don't know anything about martins, but I saw martin tracks. And the coyotes and the foxes' tracks are just about the same, only the coyote's bigger. Why won't this close, or is it not opening? Ah, I didn't have it open. Okay, there. Now I need a safety pin to hold that close. There, now you can see my lovely pin. That's the way it should probably be worn, right? Look, and it holds my collar straight. There, now that we're all perfectly stylish now for the morning. Should redo my hair. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I'm not coughing up a lung anymore. That was pretty rotten. So do you look for ASMR stuff? A lot of people come to my channel looking for ASMR stuff because I tagged everything ASMR. That might have something to do with it. I want to play my violin. It's too early to play a violin. You can't make noise on a violin at this early hour in the morning. Oh, here. Thank you for answering, Marie. I learned about ASMR through you, Nancy. You labeled your videos. ASMR, I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up. Good grief, it was a wonderful discovery for me. Isn't that interesting? I don't know if I respond to it or not, but I know that ASMR videos that are like ASMR videos, they're all contrived. They're not just whispering because it's quiet and you can't make noise. They're all trying to whisper. And then they scratch stuff. I'd rather walk in the snow and let you hear the crunchy snow, or I don't know. I just do what I do. So look at that now. See how different that looks without that big chair? That was a big dark spot. And this is another big dark spot. I don't like dark spots. See how much better it looks? The light can get in there now. This is a nice couch. This is white. This came from the dump. I get good stuff from the dump. That couch there came from the dump. It's been a good couch. I let the children take the sheets off and the cushions off. Oh, you've got things to say. I have one person I listen to when I need to. Not everyone responds. My husband doesn't. So what does it do? Does it put you to sleep? I don't think I have any reaction except dislike. When I don't know. I'm not a contrived person. I don't plan things. I just let things happen, and I do plan some things, but it's kind of pretty. So, this is getting to be a very boring video, don't you think? Boring. So what can we do to get ready to sew? So I have this sewing machine, so I'm going to have to find out if it works. Do I have a pedal for it? I don't think so. It would be under the piano if I do. I want to play my violin. I should have a door. I should be able to close that kitchen door. I used to have a kitchen door there and I could close it. But now I would be sitting out in the greenhouse from where I'm sitting right now. Do you know this was our woodshed? The woodshed went right where the plant is, behind the plant, where that wooden bowl is. Okay, that was the door from the kitchen into the woodshed. And the woodshed came out to about where the light is. And it was full of junk and tons of wood. And now, look at this. I have this whole room here. Isn't this cool? It was going to be an awesome room, but somehow it's not an awesome room. It's the entrance room, so because it's this large, the whole room seems to become an entrance room. I almost want to divide off the very end of it and let the entrance have a little entrance at the end of it. Sewing videos. Do you have your fabric for the pocket project? Yes. I made a tablecloth, and then I had all these pieces left over. But also, I just went to the store and I bought, just the width I was going to need, like a 1/4 meter or something, or 1/8 of a meter by the width. And so it was already cut, but I did make pockets for all my skirts at Mary's once. Do you remember when we did that? Not all my skirts, all the skirts and dresses I had brought with me. Pockets really change a thing. So I also have been cutting off the bottom of my skirts because I'm getting shorter. And I'm finding that my socks keep my legs very warm. And I really don't need to have 4 skirts on down that low that drag in the snow. And then they drag and they get wet and then they get heavy, and so they drag further, and then I step on them. And when I'm out there climbing on the hills and I'm going at these great angles, I step on my skirt and I'm walking on my skirt and it's coming down. So I cut the bottom off some of my skirts. I could hem them, but it's like I really need to come up a bit. Or I could give them away to other people for who those sizes are not very common. Clothes are very expensive in Canada. You never find a blouse for $12. That's like unheard of. A blouse is $19, $20, maybe $15 if you're really lucky and if they're no good. But usually $20 is a bottom sale price or something. $25. But if you want to buy a skirt, it's much cheaper to buy in the States. But I can sew. Also at the dump there's this fabric pile. And so if you go through the fabric pile, but you have to bend down, and bending is not my strong point. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and she said that arching my back, remember when I did that bronco riding thing the other day with Cindy at her house? We did that fun video, Earth Child chat. She's very interesting. Anyway, after I played on that bronco thing, and then my back was really bad, and my chiropractor said it's bending your back backward, arching your back backward. That's what did it. I couldn't walk. I was really in pain for walking. I just couldn't stand up. Got nothing done. Sat around eating peanut butter and honey. I know. Anyway. Not anymore. Did I tell you I took myself out for dinner last night? I did. It's very expensive. I think $16 for a bowl of yellow chili. You could serge the bottom of your skirts if you have a serger. No need to turn up a few inches of fabric. Well, I do have a serger, but I gave it to somebody. But I think she gave it back. Maybe I have a serger again. So hard to thread all those things. I gave up. Hey, what do you think about hiring somebody to do housework? How many hours a week should I have somebody come? Just one day, just to put the whole house back into perfect order. Because it's too hard. I can't keep up with it. And the family can't keep up because they're out. They got to take care of their kids, feed them, and rush out the door. They don't have a lot of time for things like doing dishes and floors and tidying up and sorting. If they can do it once a week, they've really put in some effort to accomplish that, right? Which is why my house was always a mess when my children were little, but I didn't work. I was at home. I was just playing all the time. I play too hard, don't I? 10 people are here and we only have 4 likes. Like and subscribe if you want to know when the next live video will come. You'll have to click on that little icon, a little bell, and it'll ring for you. Okay, so I have this fabric that I've cut off of these other clothes, which I can use for pockets as well. But I have this white fabric. I'm all for a housekeeper. I remember my dear mom used to clean before the housekeeper came. Well, my daughter does that. And she said that if she put everything away, then the housekeeper would know where everything goes. And then she could just tidy up and put everything away next time. But, checking which books go on which shelf, she could just stack things, I guess, and hang up. I need more place to hang up coats. I have a closet, and the closet is perfect, but I think it needs another shelf on the bottom, a rod on the bottom for the little children so their coats and things can hang up. I think that would be very helpful. And I have too many coats in there. Well, now they're not all mine. Now they're the other, my daughter and her husband's and their children. Some of them are in there. But now my coats, I have way too many coats. But they're 3X, and I'm now an extra large. And so, or a large. And so I can wear my blanket, and I can wear my jacket on top of that, and I can wear my coat on top of that. And I'm not squished in the middle because I'm littler. Saying littler with a high pitched was bad for my throat. Okay, so what do you cook? Or what do you, Marie? Okay, so you like housekeepers. And here I think a housekeeper is $20 an hour. So it's not cheap. But I was thinking maybe if I had a housekeeper come in, I know the girl I want to hire. She's a woman. I think I would like her to come over, and maybe we'll just start with 4 hours and see what can be accomplished in 4 hours. And so it would be best then if I can do what I can do so that her 4 hours is put into stuff I can't do, like spending time down on the floor, or I don't know, you don't really want to get down on the floor, but all the things that have to be picked up off the floor. I think when you clean a house, if you pick up the floor first, like ask Scott, he would say to work your way down, dust the ceiling and dust the shelves and then clean the floor last. But I find that if the floor looks like this, and this is clean, mind you, if the floor looks like this, it will shut me down sometimes. Yeah, an organizer. So wait a minute, what did you say? Maybe an organizer would help. My husband and I hired an organizer to help with our garage a few years ago. Awesome fitting 2 cars in our garage and knowing where all our holiday decor is. An organizer. My daughter, I always called her my sister, but my daughter she de-junks. So her solution is just get rid of it. But also, when they were working on their house, she made shelves that fit exactly like over the crock pot. You have exactly the right shape of a shelf there, not wasting floor space. Almost time for school. Busy day, lady. Nancy, the wise monkey. I forget who you are and where you live. Almost time for school. Well, let's see. Check the time. 6 o'clock here, so you're ahead of us. So are you out on the East Coast? Up in the Northeast, like Cape Breton? Or where else would school be just starting? If you're a school bus driver, you have to get up early and go check your bus. I'm just talking. So an organizer, I was over at my friend Cindy's house. And her house is so organized, and yet I don't think that I have more stuff than she does. Well, I do. I have tons of books. See my books? I have resource books. Those are all reference books. They teach me how to do stuff. And those are about baskets and hooking and weaving and woodworking and knitting and tatting and pottery and basket making and books about birds and nature activities. I never harvested my willow yet. It's December and I could harvest it. There's very little snow. If I went down and harvested willow, I could start making willow baskets. But would I? If I have a choice, what do I want to do at this very minute? If I could do anything I want to do, I think if I would get up and I would make that dish that I'm about to make. I guess I could do that. Anyway, I would put that plant away. I would pull all those leaves off that plant. But I would not necessarily go and start doing some project that's not right in my face. You're fairly organized, but you're not militant about it. It's nice when it's organized. It's nice when you've got a place for things. See, I think that I always use shelves to create places. See, we have all these parts of the walls where there are no shelves. Like, if I built a bookcase on that wall that went around that heater and around the light, and so on it could be, I don't know. I need a place for plants. I think I should put plants in my house. I have all these hooks in the living rooms. Oh, wait, you're turned the other way. I have all these hooks up there, and they don't need to be there. See, I hung that ball in there. That doesn't need to be there. But I should move those hooks so I can hang these plants. So maybe I should have one here and there. I thought I should put them over the wood stove, but not above the wood stove because you don't want anything falling on it. Then I could lift up that whole rack. I could put strings on the 4 corners of the rack, and I could jack it up with a pulley or just a rope that goes over that. And then the stuff would dry up above the wood stove. I also have to put the strings on the balls because the balls are going on that tree out there. I guess I should put those 2 logs in the fire. This 82-year-old tree is going in my fire, up in smoke. That bag goes back to Tass, to little Zane. Also, I have these cupboards, these cabinets here, which are not being utilized. I don't really know what to put in them. So in the top, these should go on the wall. The first thing our organizer asked us was, what's important to you? I think that was helpful for us. I appreciate it. So this is pine needle basket. pine needle, yeah. So it goes on the wall. I should have this on the wall. Dum-da-dum-dum. That's a good spot over in that corner right there, don't you think? I'll put this and this right there, and I can hang them up. Isn't this beautiful? I got this shell when Mary and I went to see what had happened with that oil spill down on the Gulf Coast. This is an oyster shell. There was a place when we got to the coast. Oh no, look. It's come apart on the corner there. That's the trouble with stuff, is once it starts to come apart, it's kind of over. Unless you're really good at repairing everything. I wonder if this string goes to that. Yes, it does. That string is supposed to pull through somewhere up there. Oh, there it goes. And this one has more of them. Oh, look, it's fixing. Anyway, so this could go. Oh, I see. This is just where it's sewn. But this part here, where does that go? Oh, that ends. That's the problem. Okay, so those two things should go up on this wall, right up there. And I have a hammer and I have nails. Oh, and things could go up there too. I have all these pictures I want to put away. I want to hang up. Let's turn this around. I think I better clean up, but then I'll make noise. What should I do? Should we go for a walk? Time to try to get some more sleep. It's 3:01. It's really fun. I'm sorry that, when you catch me live, it means that you have to not get your sleep. So we all need our beauty sleep because, what would happen to the world if we all got ugly? That would just be sad. All right, we'll see you later. I think I'm going to try and make this thing. I have to clean out my pot, which is yummy, yummy, yummy stuff. So I'll put that in a bowl, and I'll leave it for later, and then I'll rinse out my pot without making any noise. Hey, it's 6 o'clock. Somebody is supposed to go to work. I'll be hearing noises soon. Maybe I should go for a walk. How warm is it outside? Do you want to go for a walk with me? Okay, we can put on our coat. Oh, I know what we have to do. We have to move all the furniture out of the way so we can go to work. All right, well, I think I'm going to go now. Hey, 13 people and only 4 people said hi? So only 4 people gave a like? Anyway, I'm getting a little restless, standing around talking. I think I'm going to put some more things outside, like this hockey net. This hockey net from the outside. And a hockey stick. We should put them down by the bus. Because that's where Desmond can play with it. Alright, so I haven't finished this room yet. Goodbye, everybody. I'm gonna just hang up. See you later. Have some sleep. How do you get rid of this? Oh, you push the X. Okay, bye-bye.